welcome to the Inside Track on Real Estate with the Dekker Team, and I'm Yetta Dekker, and my sidekick Ken is not here today, or Candace, or Ryan for that matter. Today I have Joanne with me from Parkview Homes. Nice to have you, Joanne.
Hi, nice to meet you.
Thanks for joining us.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. This is always exciting when we have an opportunity to have a guest that shares a little bit of an outside perspective to something that's inside our world every day. And today we're going to talk about interior decorating, mostly in relation to new home construction, and yet everything you hear, I suspect you can take, pretty much, maybe not the actual construction part of it, the rest of it you can take though and apply to your current home. So, Joanne, interior decorating is kind of the whole flavor of what we want to chat about, and make sure you learn lots about today as you're listening and watching us. So in relation to the exterior, let's start there, because even if we have a home already, we may want to make some changes, or if we're thinking of new construction, we want to think about what should we be choosing today. What would you recommend?
Lots of people are going for neutral colors. You also want to make sure you're not exactly the same as your neighbor's house.
Right.
That's pretty much. A lot of people aren't going bold anymore.
Okay,
maybe the
bold?
front door.
What would you consider as bold?
A dark black.
Okay.
Lots of people are doing a bold front door to make
Okay.
an accent color, but pretty much it's neutrals, beiges, light browns, grays. That's pretty much.
So light brown, gray,
black roof,
beige.
simple. Yeah.
Black roof still.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
So we haven't lost the black shingle.
Oh no, we still have everyone picking the black roof. So.
Really, instead of a brown or a taupe to go with the brown.
No, there's most people stay with black.
So pretty basic.
Pretty basic.
Or traditional, maybe I could call
Yeah,
it.
you don't want to be the same as your neighbor though.
Okay. So if everybody's black roof though, is that considered the same as the neighbor, or we're really talking about siding and stone and brick?
Yeah, exactly. Siding and stone.
Okay. And so are we doing white anymore? Because that's a neutral color.
No, not many people go white siding anymore.
Okay, so not a lot of white siding, so not completely bland either.
No, exactly.
Okay, and what about the blues and the yellows and?
No, I haven't had anyone pick blues or yellows in a very long time.
Okay, so that's not what we're doing anymore.
No.
What about the rust colors that were so popular? I mean, that's a nice earthy tone.
In the bricks, we had someone last year actually picking the brick in the rust color.
We had a person.
Yeah, one person.
Okay.
One person.
So I think what you're hearing is
Exactly.
we're probably for close to 15 to 20 years now, we've been moving into that whole neutral area, and they're neutral earth tones.
Exactly.
And the lighter versions of the
ones.
earth tones,
Yep,
right? Not
exactly.
even the darker, not the dark browns, and not the
dark browns.
mostly just your taupes, your grays,
Yep.
and your beiges,
Yep, that's pretty much what everyone's picking.
and gray.
It's the same. They're all the same.
So I'm not sure how you don't choose what your neighbor
No,
has,
exactly.
because I know even our own home, we recently had our neighbor redo his stucco on the exterior, and his color was quite a bit peachier originally, and when he redid it, now it looks exactly like mine. Like mine, not like his.
There is a lot of it going on with the same, but we try to help people steer away from, if your neighbor's house is taupe, try and go grays, but it does happen.
So it's still reasonably similar, and yet as much as we can get a little bit of variety, otherwise you're not sure whose house you're driving into when you come home at night.
Exactly, unless you have a purple front door.
Which might help.
Exactly.
I did do that, actually. I like purple. And now what about the garage doors? What do we do with those? Because that's part of our exterior. Are we painting those the bold
A lot of people
do.
A lot of people paint their garage door the same color as their front door.
Oh, really?
Yeah, we have a lot of that.
Okay, because I was encouraged when we just did ours to keep the garage door more like the stone or the
neutral
stucco,
colors, the neutral
more
colors.
and
just
then
have
just
your
let the front door
pop
go.
out. Yeah.
Yeah. So you're seeing a bit of both, I'm
They're
assuming?
both, exactly. Yeah.
Right, a little bit of everything. Okay. And what are the challenges people are having around choosing exterior stuff, colors? And
there are a lot of it's hard when people come in and they have a color that they want to pick and we can't provide it for them. There's a huge range of browns and there's a huge range of grays, but if people have a picture and they have something in mind that they want and we can't get it for them, then pretty much we can accommodate everybody.
Right,
everybody
so it's a little
that
bit
comes
tricky.
in. Yeah.
So you're encouraging, it sounds like, Joanne, that when people are looking at exteriors, that they actually do a bunch of driving.
Yeah, we have that a lot. Or people bring in pictures, and that's perfect for me because it's easier to help them see exactly what they like.
Right, so even looking at magazines, go out
Yep.
and buy a bunch of the Architectural Digest or the
Yep.
Homes and Cottage magazine. And
Exactly.
actually, something we do for our clients is we provide them a monthly subscription to the Homes and Cottage magazine if they'd like us to do that. So if you're one of our clients and you're not currently on the Homes and Cottage, you'll want to give us a call so that we can get that out to you. It comes out every 2 months, and it's the same as the one that's sold in chapters. It's just we've personalized it with a couple of great real estate related articles. And so and that's a great place to get ideas from. So if you want that, give us a shout at info@deckerteam.com, and we will get you a Homes and Cottage. And if you're not currently one of our clients and you still want a subscription, then call us and tell us why we should let you. Anyway, let me know, because it's something we do endorse and pay for on behalf of our clients. So that's a great source. And then the other publications and just general magazines, I guess.
Exactly. It helps tremendously with picking, so I know what they want. I can see what they like.
And it probably helps them know what they want.
Oh yeah, exactly.
Because I think we have these ideas sometimes that if we're just speaking and we haven't gone to find it, we don't really know what that type of beige will look like with that type of whatever. Cool. So is there anything else people ought to think about in terms of exterior?
I would say landscaping, what you want in the future.
Okay, so you want to choose your exterior colors even, because a lot of them are, front door color, I guess, can be changed. However, if we can order it right from the factory, it's a better paint.
Yeah, exactly.
Right?
Yep.
So we really do want to choose something that's going to last longer. And it's not going to chip, and it's not going to fade as much.
Exactly.
Right? Because the factory coated ones are
stronger.
Are stronger for sure. So we want to ideally pick something that's going to work with our landscaping plan.
In the long run.
Right, so you want to actually, in your magazines, these magazines are awesome. Or even the internet. Pinterest is a great place to go.
I have a lot of people that come in with Pinterest pictures.
Yeah, just print those off and then have a really good idea of what you want to have it look like.
Exactly.
Down the road.
Yeah,
right.
Exactly.
Perfect. So a landscape plan, even though it's not formalized, would be a helpful thing when you're picking your exteriors.
For sure.
And then pictures of your neighbors' houses.
Yeah, exactly.
If they're already built.
Exactly.
And if they're not built and you're looking at new construction, then that's something the builder can supply to you.
We do, and I do that all the time.
Right.
I find out what the neighbor has and let the people know.
Right.
Don't go exactly the same.
Provided there's already a house next door.
Exactly.
If you're in a brand new area, then, and recognize too that if you're in a brand new area and you're one of the first ones choosing colors, then the conversation that we would be having with you around making sure you don't choose the same as your neighbors, they'll be having with those people when they actually are choosing their colors, right? If they're buying later. So anything else on the outside? Are we still going with a lot of siding just from a cost perspective, or are people moving to more brick and stone? What's the trend in there?
Right now it's half brick. A lot of people are doing half brick, half siding. Okay. Vertical siding is coming out again. We have a lot of people asking for the vertical siding. But yeah, it's the half the stone, half the brick.
Okay, is it still the horizontal? Yeah. Or sorry, the vinyl siding?
Yes, yeah.
Still vinyl?
Still vinyl.
Okay.
But a lot of people are now they want the vertical. I guess it gives it a different kind of different look.
It makes it go back decades.
Yeah.
And therefore it makes it come forward.
Exactly.
It's kind of funny. Everything that's been out comes back full circle, right?
For sure.
So the great and the sad news in all of this conversation is that no matter what you pick, it'll someday be outdated.
Yeah.
And then the great news is no matter what you pick, one day it'll be in again. Right? Sure. You can't really get it wrong. Just hang out and wait long enough and it comes full circle. Yeah. The whole retro thing has become so popular today. So, and the siding thing, I think the reason, and you can correct me if I have got this wrong, the reason lots of people are considering putting a fair bit of siding or half siding is just from a cost perspective.
It is, exactly.
Where if you're doing a higher end build, which we've certainly been involved in lots of those as well, then we're looking at more stone and more stucco. It's still happening.
Exactly.
And brick.
Yep.
And to reduce the cost a little bit. So I think people's preference is the brick, the stone, the stucco.
Yep.
And we're using as much siding as we have to sort of make it a cost point.
Usually what we do is the front we'll do brick or stone.
Right.
The sides and the back we'll do in the siding.
Completely in siding.
Yeah.
Not 50-50.
Not 50-50.
Okay.
Yep.
perfect. And in some of the higher end homes, we obviously see stone on maybe 3 sides with some stucco, and then more stone and stucco at the front, or that kind of thing. So it's interesting. The stucco has its interesting challenges, I think, in our climate.
We haven't used stucco.
Okay, so you're not using a lot in your particular site.
No, we're not. No.
Yeah, we're still seeing a fair bit of it out there, depending on who the builder is and renovations and that kind of thing. So if we're moving inside, interior, what's the trend there?
Same thing. It's the grays, the beiges, the neutral colors, whites. White's a big thing right now.
On walls?
On walls. We have a lot of people just white. And there's a million shades of white.
There is. There's pink whites, and there's blue whites, and there's green whites, and there's yellow whites, and they're quite different.
I know, and you have to pick the right one, but it's still neutrals inside now.
Wow. Okay, so our houses are boring.
I know.
Is that what you're trying to tell me?
Well, a lot of people will do the neutrals, and then they'll put a piece of furniture that's red or something that's bright.
So we're still adding our color. We're just adding our color in terms of
decorating accents.
Exactly. Okay. Good. So what ought I to think about in terms of challenges around choosing my interior colors? Is there things that I should be aware of?
There's a if you have furniture that you want to match to it, but
okay, so bring swatches.
Exactly.
Right? Bring a
thing
from a cushion or that kind of thing, so you know what you're matching. Because often because every color, and I think that's what you're saying, Joanne, even if I choose gray,
it's going to go
I have yellow grays.
Exactly.
I have green grays. I have pink grays. I have purple grays.
That's the problem that a lot of people have is when they see those little swatches, they pick them from the swatches, and then when we put it on the wall, it's completely different than what they thought it was going to look like. So it's a hard thing to match up, to go from that little swatch.
It is.
Pick the color.
And I think in most stores you can get a larger sample.
Yeah, you can.
You've got to pay for it, but you can get a larger sample so that you can look
see what it's going to look like exactly.
Yeah. And are you finding from a new home construction perspective that people are choosing the designer colors right when you're painting the walls, or are they just going whatever your base paint is and worrying about color a year or 2 years down the road?
No, we have your choices. You have 2 colors and a trim color.
Okay.
So right off the bat, they pick the colors they want.
Okay.
A lot of people do just bedrooms, bathrooms in the white, and then down the line they change them. But no, we have the people picking their colors right there in our design center with us.
Okay, so they're choosing two colors throughout a whole house.
Yep.
So you're not seeing a lot of accent walls.
Not anymore. We were, but not anymore.
Okay.
Still, it's just straight colors.
Okay. And what about wallpapers?
No,
that sounded almost scary, folks. Did you hear that? There was a shudder in Joanne's voice when I said the word wallpaper. And yet I would say that I'm still seeing little bits of it, especially in kids' bedrooms or borders. And I'm seeing a lot of this, not as much borders like we used to with the flower cans and that kind of stuff on it, the rose gardens and things, sunflowers. Seeing more of the large wall decals in kids' rooms that kind of thing. So
and I assume people do that afterwards,
I think they probably do, So if you're just joining us now on the Inside Track on Real Estate with the Dekker Team, it is Yetta Dekker, and we're talking about interior decorating, new home construction, and also how it applies to your current home. So if you are somebody that is already in a home and you just want to get ideas, you can get lots of really great ideas from new construction. Or if you're interested in a new home, then you want to call us and we will connect you with the right builder, and it may well be Joanne and her company. And it actually helps you a whole lot as a buyer to have a realtor involved in the conversation of buying even new homes, because there's things that we intuitively have experienced again and again that even impact the resale. So things that you want to think about in new construction may actually be a resale conversation, so something that the realtor actually brings to the table, which is kind of cool that we can do that for you. And we have great working relationships with Parkview as well as the majority of the other builders in the city of Ottawa. So if you are interested in a new home, before you walk into any sale site, you actually want to give us a call at 613-860-4663, 860-4663. I do know my own phone number most days, not always though. So you're catching me on a medium day. Anyway, if you are interested in that, give us a call and we'll coordinate an appointment so we can actually view it with you. And the great news is today with the internet, you can do so much preliminary searching online, and I'll bet that's one of the big changes you've seen, Joanne, over the past 5-10 years, is that more and more people are coming way more prepared.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Because they already know 80% of the information.
Oh yeah, and lots of people bring their laptops right into the showroom and say,
Isn't that awesome?
This is what I want. Oh no, it makes my job a whole lot easier.
Like, how much has that changed?
Exactly.
Like, it's wild how that has shifted.
It's totally different. Like, people bringing in the pictures and the laptops and their phones, pull out their phones. This is exactly what I want, and makes it nice.
And then it makes it nice for you to be able to maybe see something they're not seeing.
Exactly.
So I'm sure you often direct them down a path similar to where they were. Well, I'm sure sometimes not even similar.
Yeah, it's sometimes hard though to tell somebody if they have it in their head what they want, and then it's hard to tell them that it's not going to look good.
It's just not going to work.
It's not going to look good.
I can run into that. So what are some of the common mistakes that happen?
Bright pink bedroom, and then you need to sell it your house, or
right.
I'm not sure.
Okay, so just sometimes a choice in terms of color.
Yeah, exactly.
Can be a bit of a mistake. The great news, though, when we're talking paint, because I think the whole idea of colored carpet.
Oh yeah, no.
We don't do that today, right?
No.
Oh no. Do you hear all the shudder in Joanne's voice that comes out every time I suggest something that we would have paid extra for, say 20 years ago?
The thick shag carpet.
It's kind of come back.
I know, it's starting to.
Yeah, because I know I have some in my house.
It's
in area rugs more than full broadloom rugs, because we still want to see that hardwood.
In royal blue or something.
Yeah, which we had tons of. Yeah. And now we're not seeing quite. I have purple one, actually. And I'm sure in a few years people are going to look at that and go, what is wrong with you, girl? Yeah. Well, it was trendy at the time. So the great news with paint is you can paint over a wall if you don't get it right. Now, I guess because you guys are hiring professional painters, the quality of the paint job is always very nice. Make sure the lines are good and that kind of thing. If you're painting yourself, you might want to second guess. Think second about that, because some people really aren't meant to paint their own homes.
No.
Right? No. Does more harm than good, I think. You don't want a lot of those splotches all over the ceiling, which I have so often asked people to please touch up prior to moving. Yeah. And now the good news, we're talking about paints in bedrooms. If you're talking about bright pink in a bedroom, a kid's bedroom, reality is, even from a resale perspective, it's a kid's bedroom. Yeah. So sort of it being black and really small feeling and almost dark or scary feeling, okay, those things can leave an emotional impact on people that's negative. However, a secondary bedroom, as long as it's clean and fresh and the whole thing works together, it almost doesn't matter what colors you choose in there. You can actually have some fun with that. The bright pinks in living rooms and the
maybe on an accent wall.
Maybe, but even then today, you got to be careful.
What you choose.
Exactly how you do it. Your accents, I think, are, from what I understand from you, Joanne, are better if it's in pillows or in furniture or in an area rug that we can pick up and move out. If
take
in fact,
with you.
And take it with you.
Yeah, exactly.
That's awesome. So in terms of bedding, do we have to think about bedding when we're doing painting? What conversation would you have with clients there?
We don't really get into that. So we just stay with the colors. Flooring, walls, obviously.
Right.
We don't really get into decorating.
Okay. If they have things they know they want to decorate around,
a lot of people, they'll bring in that. Some people bring in a picture of their kids' bedding right now that they have, and they want to match the paint color up to it.
And that's kind of easy and fun, I bet.
Oh yeah.
Right. That's a good thing to do. Okay, awesome. So what beyond neutral is what I'm hearing you say? Neutral. And then some more neutral. Yeah. Sounds really boring. What do you all think? You can call in and tell me what you think. The other thing is, what about flooring? What are we doing there?
Lately, I've been having lots of people choosing laminates over hardwoods.
Okay, and why are they trending that way?
I think it's the variation of color.
Okay.
Thickness in the planks on the board.
Right.
But there is, and durability, I think. But yeah, there has been a lot more laminates that people have chosen in the last. And
laminates today have taken on.
Oh, you could never tell the difference.
Right.
Sometimes when you look at them, you can't tell the difference whether it's a hardwood or whether it is a laminate.
Right. So I think when we're talking the word laminate, we're not talking about the 99 cents a square foot.
Yeah.
Well, reality is
Yeah.
there's a lot of that exists.
Yep.
Maybe in a basement or in a room that's really utilitarian, then that may be an option. The challenge with a lot of those lower end laminate floorings is by the time you install them, they already look worn out,
Yeah, exactly.
right? So you're looking at more of an engineered
yeah,
floor,
exactly.
a high end, a thick.
High-end laminate.
And from a resale perspective, I would tell you that there's still a trend toward wanting hardwood. True hardwood, depending on the price point of the home.
Yeah. It's the wording, hardwood, like everyone thinks.
I think that's partially what it is. So you just want to be really cautious, I think. Choose, and if you're staying in a home for 10 years, 15 years, 20 years, reality is you're choosing everything for yourself anyway.
Exactly.
Right?
So it's what you want.
Right. It really is what you want. It's just you don't know what's going to happen down the road. And so keeping resale a little bit in mind is always where this realtor and the whole team goes.
Yeah.
So in terms of color, are you finding it's the dark woods, the mediums, the honeys, the reds, or the bleaches?
It's the grays. We've had a lot of grays, and then it's a lot of the dark.
Okay.
It's not the oaks, the lights in between anymore. It's the grays and dark.
Okay. So people aren't afraid of the gray these days?
No, it doesn't.
Even in flooring?
Even in flooring.
Okay. And what about black? Because I know there was a trend for a while there to go to a nice, funky black wood flooring. Is that...
I haven't seen a lot of people choosing the blacks.
Okay.
No.
That's been in very contemporary homes, I think, where I've seen it. So it hasn't really caught on.
No, not yet.
It's again...
But you never know.
Oh, I'm thinking that time was past if it didn't happen.
Gone.
I think, but mind you, what have we said? Everything that's been around comes around again. So, so primarily the grays and the darker woods.
Yep.
Not the natural honey or the naturals or the honeys right now.
No, not very much anymore.
Okay, which will come back. So if you have
it
that,
will.
good news
It
is
will.
it'll come back. And I think that's the other potential thing with a hardwood is if the color does change, because I know red was all the craze for quite some time. Any of it, not even true cherry, but even putting a red stain on an oak or on a maple or something was really the trend for quite a while. If you got true hardwood, the nice news is you can sand it down and
redo it,
strip it, and
do a color,
put
whatever color you want. Exactly.
And so there is some potential long-term advantages. However, the cost is still a little bit more. Laminates are still a slightly nicer price point. For the most part.
Exactly. Yeah.
I think there's variation there as well. What about kitchen cabinets?
Same thing. New stuff out now is there's the dark grays. Still, everyone's going shaker style, just plain shakers, plain square lines. No, none of this detail stuff anymore.
Okay. Not the nice rounds and the curves and the beveled and all that sort of stuff?
I'd say the last 10 people that I've been working with, it's shaker style and it's the straight lines and it's plain.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. And mostly the darks?
Mostly, mostly darks. Again, if you're going with dark flooring, a lot of people go with the white, but...
Okay, so you're seeing white, a resurgence of white?
Yep.
Because white was the thing in the 90s, and then it was not a thing for the 2000s.
No, I know.
It was like, please don't do that. And now we're seeing more of the whites again.
It's the plain, straight lines, white, clean looking.
Okay. And what about handles and knobs and things? Are we doing little teeny knobs still?
You know, the long stainless steel pulls, they're still the thing that people are picking.
Are we seeing some movement towards, say, the black handles and knobs and things, as well as the pewter?
Yeah, and same with the lights, same with the light fixtures.
Okay, we're seeing both of those finishes, the patina type finish, which is a great black.
They'll always be around, I think.
Well, you know, if you had asked me 15 years or maybe 20 years ago if brass would always be around, shiny brass, I would have told you it was.
Yeah.
Because it was everywhere and you were paying extra for it.
Same with doorknobs. They're the dark ones now. A lot of people are asking for the dark.
Okay, instead of the pewter.
Instead of the pewter. Yeah.
Okay, so there's even a little bit of a shift there.
Not the brass, but
okay, they're not asking for the
not
brass
anymore.
yet. I've been told they will again.
I'm sure they will.
It's going to happen.
Maybe.
And are we going with the lever type door handle, or are we going with a round knob?
It's a 50-50.
Okay.
It's a 50-50.
And is that
the older people want the levers.
Oh.
I guess easier to handle, easier to open.
Right.
And then the younger people are just sticking with the.
Is that partially a price point conversation as well?
No, ours are the same. So
whether it's a lever, whether it's a handle.
Oh no.
Or a knob.
No, for the color. For the color.
Okay.
The color
I'm thinking for this.
The lever is more expensive than the exactly.
And so sometimes these conversations become a price point
Yeah,
conversation.
exactly.
Right?
Yeah.
Perfect. So if you've joined us today on the Inside Track on Real Estate, I've been chatting with Joanne about interior decorating. I think there's been some awesome, useful insights. And now I want to feature a really awesome property. It is in Manotick. It's actually got a gorgeous kitchen in it, and great floors, and it fits everything we just talked about, I think.
Perfect.
Except the bedrooms, the kids' bedrooms, well, I guess I did talk about that too, are wild a little bit in color. And their secondary rooms, everything else is reasonably neutral. That property is $550,000, which for Manotick is a really awesome value. It's a stone's throw away from Tim Hortons, and I know in Canada we have more Tim Hortons fan than we have just about anything else. And so if that interests you, you'll want to give us a call at 613-860-4663. And it's a true 4-bedroom, double-car garage, pool-sized rear yard, fully hedged in, and walking distance to all of the amenities in Manotick. Some of them you'll need to put your walking boots on for a little bit further of a hike, however, certainly within walking distance of Manotick. And if you are thinking of new construction, because that's really been a bit of the focus of today's show, please do give us a call. You'll want to give us a call because it's going to benefit you to have that additional expertise. As I think most of our listeners know by now, we have extensive knowledge of the whole new home construction thing because we've been new home warranty builders and we have been doing it for about 25 years. So certainly understand what you ought to look for and what things really are important. And as you can hear, we know some amazing experts in the industry that can ensure you pick great things that will make you happy today and also happy down the road, which is really cool. So thanks for joining us, Joanne.
Thank you.
That was a pleasure.
Thank you.
Yeah, lots of fun. And so thank you as well for joining us. If you have questions that you would like us to answer, if you would like to be a guest on the show, call us. And again, like I said earlier, convince us why we should have you as a guest on the show. We want to make sure that we're bringing value to our listeners and our viewers. And so thank you very much from the Dekker team for joining us. And we will be back with you again sometime soon. Thank you. Get a Dekker at 613-860-4663. And the rest of the team is here to help you too. Thanks. Bye for now.
What you wanna do? Well, man, it's on